and we are diving on in. Meanwhile, EnDerr did just confirm with me that he has claimed an OSC bounty because he just beat Miyamika in a best of 3.
It's gonna be one day. Miyamika's not gonna have a bounty, but I don't think that day is anytime soon. Regardless, we are gonna be kicking off our best of 3 upper bracket finals here on Hardwire LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner map, swatting all the way. The bottom left-hand corner, we of course have our red Zerg player coming down from the land of Brisbane. He is, without a doubt, the king of Brisbane, going for a bit of a 12 pool here. Representing our very own team, the Cranky Ducklings, he is Oreo.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Filipino Zerg player. He is blue, representing the Juggernauts. It is EnDerr, the current Miyamika Slayer.
Oh, the current Ragnarok Slayer.
Oh god, there you go, mate. And this is why I'm not fond of ever 12 pooling either Gogo, Joey, Miyamika, or EnDerr, because they open up with pool firsts. Like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, the best counter to a 12 pool is a slightly later pool.
yeah, because again, this 12 pool, ideally you deny a base, right? You deny the hatchery, but because of the earlier pool, like we already have Lings on the way here for EnDerr, he will already have an army to defend. To be fair, when he does open up like this, he doesn't make a queen typically because he wants to save up for that hatchery. I say that, but the Overlord does see the Lings, so he should be making a queen.
I was about to say, oh, there's a queen, and I realized that was actually Oreo's queen, but yep, now Oreo, or EnDerr, sorry, is wise to this. He is getting that queen for defense.
Yeah, he's forced to. He didn't want to, but...
Yeah. It's the worst feeling in the world. When you're forced to make a unit you already should have had. EnDerr actually turned out a spy crawler. He thinks Oreo's being very committed to this, and to be fair, Oreo does have a lot of Lings inside of the map, but that's about going to be it for Oreo. He's going to try to deny this natural base and then just resume droning.
Yeah, it's getting pretty low, down to less than half HP, but EnDerr does pull the boys, the queen comes out, we have our Lings. EnDerr should cancel that spy, and we'll see if he holds onto it as... Ooh, it does finish.
He does. Now he's bringing it to the low ground. That was entirely intentional.
Okay, so, yeah, as you were saying, just very safe here from EnDerr. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm curious to see whether, I don't know, maybe he goes a little bit more greedy behind this, as he has resumed drones and gas.
Mate, EnDerr's gonna go for a massive counterattack. Ling speed just finished up. This is the downside of going for a 12 pool, and just like this, every single one of these things is gonna go down. EnDerr goes for a counterattack. What is there at home? We have queens, and we have queens.
Yeah, Lings are not on the way at all right now for Oreo. Ling speed only just about finished up. EnDerr eventually is going to have a Baneling Nest to help as well, but I'm not even sure he's going to need it, like.
Yeah, exactly. He does already try and hit the front door. Instead, content with the natural, what damage will he get done? The queens are a little bit out of position, a little bit vulnerable to get surrounded, but instead, EnDerr goes for the spawning Lings. Oh.
Yeah, camping that larva as they were building. I wasn't sure if Oreo had enough for a transfuse, but he did have enough for one transfuse.
Oreo just barely holds on. Meanwhile, Oreo making 16 Lings and a Baneling Nest. He does not intend the game to go on much longer. It will take a while for this to really hit because Ling speed is still on the way. EnDerr, it's on him to try and scout this and figure out what's going on because he is being pretty greedy himself, going for a lair.
Yeah, I do appreciate that he's making a couple of defensive Banelings back home, but it is only 2 Lings. Oreo can still try to snipe those. EnDerr hasn't seen the massive Ling flood, has he?
He sees it now with his Overlord, so now he's well aware we need Banelings at home, and there we go. Immediately they're being morphed in, because EnDerr did make a defensive Baneling Nest alongside the Spine, alongside the Queens. We have more Spines. The only thing that we're missing is like a wall of Evo Chambers, but even without that, I don't know if EnDerr needs it.
Well, he doesn't need it, but he is going to have to rely on his Baneling connection to be really on point. Oreo has Banelings of his own! But they do get sniped by the Spine Crawler and the Queen. I actually really appreciate this defensive position for EnDerr.
Yeah, again, like, this is great. Oh, but that's the second Baneling that's been baited out here for only 1 or 2 lings. So EnDerr not with the best Baneling micro here. Behind this, Oreo is droning up, by the way, and teching up as well.
Taking up pretty hard, but not as hard as EnDerr, who immediately grabs the Spire.
Yeah, 2 base Muta is on the way. Oh, Oreo, he gets in!
And he should be able to see the Spire just like so.
Wow, Oreo sees everything. Meanwhile, so does EnDerr. So they scout each other.
See, said the lair isn't here yet, but should be on the way eventually.
Yeah, unfortunately, Oreo's scout was a little bit more valuable because now he's aware that he has to get ready for those mutas, and that I don't think he'll be able to hit a timing before the mutas come out. Well, it looks like he's gonna try though.
Yeah, with slow roaches. On Hardwire, it's possible. There's a possibility of hitting before EnDerr can really get too many Mutalisks out, but even when Oreo gets across the map, he still has to deal with all the Spine Crawlers, he still has to deal with those Queens.
Yeah, and EnDerr knows, like, he's throwing down more spines, like, it's gonna be so difficult to break. Not impossible, just very difficult, as Oreo is link flooding. Like, he's all in. He's 100% all in here. He wants to end the game. 8 mutas are already in production, though.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced Oreo has enough to really break this setup. Meanwhile, back home, even before the Mutalisks come out, EnDerr is getting Queen with his lings.
Yeah.
Hopefully gonna get more.
Oh, he may get a second Queen as well. Aye. Meanwhile, here we go. In comes the push. The Banelings roll on forward, but they just connect with more Banelings. The Roaches are trying to bust on through these spines. Can he do it? The Banelings of EnDerr. They do not connect.
That they do not.
Oh, God.
The Roaches actually zoning them out pretty well. That's a nice snipe on the Baneling nest, or on the Baneling itself. Transfuses are definitely on point. The Roaches have been dealt with, and now it's nothing but lings, which is difficult for mutas to deal with, but they are still very, very fast. They can still get a lot of drone damage before they get cleaned out. Not enough, though.
Yeah, he gets 2 drones. He gets 2 drones for his troubles. GG gets called, and EnDerr will take the first game.
Very nicely done here.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't mind Oreo's all in there. Unfortunately, it was a late reaction because it was a late scout. By the time he saw the Spire was halfway done, I believe. It's like, you can't,
About there, yeah.
Yeah, like, trying to go for, like, a massive Ling Flood as a response to that, it's difficult.
Really is, especially on a map like, Hardwire. Oreo may have been better off droning up and getting spores. What do you think?
Ah, yeah, 100%.
Okay, well.
Because he had a faster third race as well, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Hindsight is 50-50.
50-50?
20-20. No, wait.
What are you saying? I know, 50-50, right? Flip a coin, mate. Oh my god.
Changes the meaning of the saying something. Hindsight is 20-20. 20 out of 20.
There you go.
Not 50, not 20%, 20%. Not 50%,
yeah. But yeah. We're getting into game number 2 here. And we'll see what we end up in. Again, like, clearly Oreo wanted to be as aggressive as possible, so it looks like the wrong map was made, so we have to remake.
That are lacking game heart.
But yeah, we'll see. Again, I'm not fond of 12 pulling these guys. Like, yeah, I know. It feels so risky.
Yeah. I'm not fond of 12 pulling them either, but that's mostly just because I don't play Zerg.
Like, I'm Terran, man. I just can't do it.
Just can't. I try, but I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Alright, here we go. We are diving into
Some
game
scan.
number 2.
And we're going from not necessarily one extreme, but we're going from, as you were saying, a very standard medium-sized map to one of the shortest maps, one of the smallest maps, I think, in StarCraft 2 history. Like, honestly, this map will be right at home in Wings of Liberty, IMO. As we continue our series here on Berlingrad LE, we're in the bottom right-hand corner, spawning all the way to the bottom right-hand corner. We have the red Zerg player coming down from the land of Brisbane. He is without doubt the king of Brisbane, Australia. He is going to be representing our very own team, the Cranky Ducklings. He is going to make his opponents go, uh-oh, because it's Oreo.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have the Filipino Zerg player himself. He is blue, representing the Juggernauts. It is EnDerr.
This time, not going for a 12 pool, neither player.
Yeah, Oreo going for a hatch first opener here on Berlingrad. Meanwhile, EnDerr going for a pool gas.
Yeah, looking to be a little bit more aggressive here. Should be seeing that macro hatch and natural that we were robbed off last game.
We were robbed, mate. They took it from us. Hopefully EnDerr can pull it off, as again, this is the same opener he went for in the previous game. This is his go-to in ZvZ. And I appreciate that Oreo is, again, like, kind of pulling off the gas a little bit here, playing this a little bit more straight up, and we'll see if he can go toe-to-toe with EnDerr and his style.
That we shall. Again, Oreo hasn't played against EnDerr too often, at least not in a competitive setting like a tournament, but EnDerr's reputation does kind of... There's a term I'm thinking of that I can't remember it, so I'm just going to use the word exceed. Does exceed him.
Proceed.
Proceed, there we go.
You're close. You're very close.
That was very close, yeah. His seat was in there. Yeah, so Oreo, at least he should have some idea of how, or at least some general idea of how to play against EnDerr.
Exactly. Meanwhile, ooh, the two lings just barely escaped there. EnDerr, he was trying to catch whatever came out of those eggs. Meanwhile, how good is the micro going to be? Oh my god, he gets one drone!
Oh. Pulling just a little bit too late here, Oreo, I mean. But one drone is not the end of the game here. Oreo's still ahead, slightly.
Yeah, again, due to the faster hatchery, Oreo has a better economy, and oh my god, he skips link speed and goes straight into a lair, and hopefully he doesn't die because link speed is... Okay, thank god, he turns around. My god.
Yeah, going for a lair like this is already ambitious. Getting caught in the middle of the map with your own lings by the speedlings of EnDerr, that is way too ambitious.
Yeah, and I love this. He's walling off. Is the wall going to get up in time? That is the question. Up! Ooh, just...
No! Just barely on time! And EnDerr is able to slip in with his fastlings. He does scout the lair. Could even get a lot of drone damage done as well, but EnDerr decides not to risk it too much.
Yeah, he does get another drone there in the end, and that was huge. 1 second off. 1 second. That wall would have been a wall. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. Oh, the queen goes down at the natural base as well.
Already a lot of damage being dealt, but most importantly, EnDerr knows how the rest of the game is going to go, at least from the side of Oreo.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually, this will all be cleaned up, but EnDerr, that was an amazing scout. He dealt damage. He forced a reaction as well. Oreo, he had to cancel the second Evo chamber, and now he's going into a roach warren. Sure, that's great, but again, this is all hitting later than it should have.
Much later. At the very least, EnDerr doesn't see the roach warren specifically, but yeah, he should be able to connect the dots in his head and know exactly what Oreo's going for.
That he should, as Oreo is walling off once again, and again, because this got scattered, like, I'm sure Oreo wanted to go into a spire, like, that's why, like, it's not really being utilized right now, but It's a little bit too obvious. It got scouted. It's too late to go for a Spire, so he does back off. Meanwhile, we didn't get to point it out, but EnDerr did go for that macro hatch.
Hey! Much more production on his hands, and funnily enough, it serves as a bit of a pseudo launch pad as well on some of these smaller maps, doesn't it?
Yeah, launch pad, you know, it adds some SimCity as well that we have seen utilized. Again, this is very unique to EnDerr. He's the only one who does it. Even in Southeast Asia, he's the only one. It's just his unique quirk.
Mm-hmm. They all have one.
It's true. Some of them have more than one. As the roaches are coming across the map, they are spotted by Oreo. Unfortunately, he was in the midst of trying to get a third base. It is cancelled. And can Oreo hold on? He just now starts the 3 spines.
Oh, he's focusing entirely on defense. He needs some way of buying time for his defenses to come up, but he has no way of getting that at all. Rotorn is gonna go down. Oh no, Oreo's units don't have the range to deal with EnDerr's behind this wall. And just like that, Rotorn is down. The wall has a hole, and EnDerr, it looks like he's gonna take this series 2-0. Getting to the grand finals with a +1 point advantage. Very well done here.
GG. Well played there by EnDerr. Very well played. Again, like that. Oh, God, those Lings rushing in. If they're only a second later, then Oreo would have been able to wall off and keep EnDerr in the dark. But EnDerr was just on point with his Ling control, and that was a beautifully won ZvZ there. And if you're an Oreo fan, don't fret, because he's still in the tournament, just in the lower bracket.
Yeah, and thankfully he won't be at the mercy of the best of ones. He immediately goes down to the best of 3 lower bracket finals to face either Gogo Joey or Mio Micah, 2 players he has beaten before.
Oh yeah. That he is, and I'm sure he's hoping that that Mio Micah gets knocked out.
Yeah.
As you could argue that he is the scarier opponent.
Yeah, when I say Oreo has beaten these 2 players, there's a little bit of an asterisk there. Oreo has beaten Gogo Joey about the same amount of times Gogo Joey has beaten Oreo. Oreo's beaten Mio Micah like once, compared to all the other times Mio Micah has beaten him. So, yeah, one opponent is less of a threat to him here than the other.
Exactly. So I love what Shiva's saying in the chat. Hindsight, you never know. It's a coin flip, man. You never know.
Look. When it's when you're using my memory on hindsight, it might as well be a coin flip.
I love that. Oh my god, the Yaku lore is expanding, man. It's expanding.
Hindsight's 50-50.
Oh god, but yes, there we go. Predictions are going to be paid out here. And yeah, we'll see who is going to be facing Oreo here in the next round. Regardless, we'll be casting another ZvZ. Oh, also, you glossed over it, but there are only Zerg players left now in this tournament.